Howdy, folks. It is Global Astronomy Month, and I could not be more pleased. It is, I have had my faith in space exploration kindled recently because, honestly, it was months ago when the Philae lander landed on comet P76. The Rosetta spacecraft deployed a probe, and it went down to the surface and bounced for a couple kilometers and landed sideways in a crevasse on a comet. And in a couple of days, it will be the perihelion of that comet, and you could see it with a telescope or a strong pair of binoculars. And actually, NASA is putting a call out to astronomers, amateur astronomers, to be able to add their real-time results, observations to the database, which is something NASA's been doing a lot of recently that I'm really excited about, is kind of crowdsourcing their data. They have billions and billions of terabytes of data, and computers aren't smart enough yet to sift through all of it yet, and so they just put it out there for everyone to see, and you can log on and register and sit there and go through pictures of distant objects and classify them, or photos from the International Space Station of the Earth at night, and identify cities, so you can be involved and be a citizen astronomer. But this weekend you can help with a live event while giant telescopes are tracking this comet as it goes nearest the sun, and hopefully this probe that landed on the surface will wake back up because of the solar energy reaching its solar panels and be able to transmit data. So that's one reason to be excited. Monday is April 13th, which is the anniversary, I don't know which one, an anniversary of the Apollo 13 mission. But it's also going to be the next try for SpaceX to launch their space cargo, but then also bring their rocket booster, like the first stage, I guess, back down and land it on an autonomous barge, a drone barge, for reuse. They tried to do this once before, as far as I know, and they have a video that shows it blowing up as it tries to come in, and it was close. They blew it up on the barge, which is good. And so this is all exciting, man. I mean, I've just been so excited by the space exploration aspect of what is going on right now. The comet thing, that was the European Space Agency. Around that same time that whole drama was playing out, I mean, China launched some payloads up to test them out. Space capsules, tested them out. India has a space program that's pretty active. Japan is going after asteroids, so it's got this, the space race has this international flavor and this private sector, kind of capitalistic flavor going on. And SpaceX is doing amazing at the commercial venture. I mean, they're making big bucks off of resupplying the International Space Station. And then there's Mars One. Mars One is exciting because they're promising to us we will go to Mars. Next year we'll be launching people off to Mars. The robots are going to arrive beforehand. They're going to settle. They're going to set up little life support units, and crews of 6 will arrive every 6 years for a while until they've put together this little trailer park of these life support units, and these crews keep arriving. But supposedly, according to MIT and Neil deGrasse Tyson, these people will die after 68 hours at most on the surface because of lack of nitrogen scrubbing technology. And they haven't proved any. They have no proof of concept technology. That's the main thing. I want to believe in Mars One. I wish I could, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, but I'm not going to go as far as to go along with all the scandals about buying your way to the front of the line as a candidate for the Mars One program or any of that. But I can just say that according to their own timeline, they're supposed to have people in a habitat right now training to leave next year, and I don't see them in any habitat. I think I saw an article about a couple of them sitting in somebody else's habitat that already existed for testing for Mars-like environments in the desert somewhere, and they are thinking about doing one in the Arctic, which is way more realistic. Not even close still, but at least closer to being like in an unlivable environment. So I don't see how they're sending anyone off planet next year. Makes no sense. And it seems like a scam at this point. And even if they really did pull it off, these people are going to fucking die. So that's exciting. People are going to die on Mars in our lifetime, and we'll live with the fallout of that. We've just got probes everywhere. I mean, we've got one out there near Saturn and Jupiter, the Cassini, learning about those planets and their moons. And we're going to play with an asteroid. We were going to bring a whole one back and let it orbit around the moon. Now we're just bringing a boulder off of one and letting it float around the moon, I guess, and playing with it. Oh, and then there's Mark Kelly and Scott Kelly. I mean, the Astro Twins, which is amazing. It was almost April. They couldn't wait till April Fool's Day because launch date was before that, but Scott, god damn it, I'm getting them mixed up. Mark, yeah, okay, so Mark Kelly, who is the identical twin of Scott Kelly, who is the astronaut going up to the International Space Station. Mark Kelly showed up to NASA and pretended to be his brother Scott for just a minute when he was reporting for his launch to spend a year on the International Space Station to test the effects of microgravity or zero gravity on the human body, because the longest that Americans do is 6 months. Russians have done more than a year by a long shot, kind of, but they didn't really do any science, so we're gonna try and see what happens actually when you do that. And the perfect thing is that this guy has a brother who's also an astronaut in the same physical condition as him, and he can stay on Earth, and they can compare their exactly identical genetic makeup before and after a year in space. Pretty cool experiment. But that's pretty funny for kind of an April Fool's joke, to show up as your twin brother, to almost, climb in the capsule and blast off. I'm like, haha, never mind, actually. So, a cool experiment, man. I mean, and the fact is that this guy, Mark, is a really cool children's author. He wrote Mousetronaut, about rodents that live in space on the International Space Station, and look it up. And the actual technology behind testing small mammals in zero G. And now he just came out with Astro Twins, which is this cool little children's chapter book about having a twin and wanting to make a rocket to go to space. Truly inspirational stuff. Have a fun time up there, Scott. I'm really excited about the Planetary Society CEO Bill Nye. It's really cool to see like a civilian advocacy group which supports space travel, and they're actually this next month, as far as I know, sending up a light sail. It's a solar sail satellite, proof of concept. It's going to test out its deployment of its sails and then burn up, basically, and then if that works to the way it's supposed to, they're going to set up a real one I don't know, next year, then the year after, something like that. But right away, I mean, this has no government funding or anything like that, and they put it together. They're going to get it launched up there on a routine mission. Pretty cool. So space flight is awesome. Space exploration is awesome. They're finding water all over our solar system and all over the universe. They're finding exomoons. NASA is freaking out and telling everybody that prepare ourselves, we are about to find evidence of life. And you're just like, huh, what? Like, no, seriously, we truly believe it. I mean, some people are like, we're not going to just find evidence of life, we're going to find their intelligent robots who are advanced scouts of their intelligent societies. You're like, okay. So shit is crazy. I mean, they're inventing, ion drives and plasma engines, which could get us to Mars in 39 days. So, prepare for the future, motherfuckers. Peace out. That's space news.